Hi guys! Fall is coming, and if you're in Seoul or if you're thinking of visiting in the fall and you want to get out of the city and see what the countryside is like, I'd recommend visiting Gyeonggi province, which literally means area surrounding the capital. It makes for a great day trip outside of Seoul. The main attractions are Nami Island, Petite, France, and Garden of the Morning Calm. Also, if you want to stay in one of those banana milk themed hotel rooms, this is the place. I was fortunate enough to visit last fall while my mom was visiting, and it was an amazing day trip. Nami Island, or Nami Som, was our first stop. This is a man-made island that was formed as a result of the construction of the Cheongpyeong Dam in 1944. It was named after General Nami, who was falsely accused of treason and then executed. A tour company later developed this island into a theme park, and you can either take a ferry or a zip line to get to the island. The price is 13,000 won per adult and 7,000 won for kids for the ferry, and 44,000 won for the zip line. The earliest ferry leaves at 7:30 and it departs every half hour until 9 a.m., after which it departs every 10 to 20 minutes. The last ferry leaves at 9:40 p.m. If you're a K-drama fan, you'll probably recognize this island from Winter Sonata, one of the most popular K-dramas ever. Nami Island is a nice place to just escape city life in Seoul and be with nature and tons of other people depending on the time of year you go. If you want to take some of these types of photos, I would recommend getting here as early as possible. We took the 8 a.m. ferry and left by 10 or so, and on the way back the ferry was just packed to the brim. I think it's because most of the tour companies start arriving around 10, so the island just gets really crowded by that time. You can rent bikes on the island or just walk around and explore it on foot. I don't think we covered the entire island because we wanted to go to other places that same day, but we spent about 2 hours here. Petite, France is a theme park that pays tribute to the Little Prince. It doesn't have any rides, it's mostly just a place where you can wander around and see fake, colorful, European-style buildings and take photographs. It's actually a really strange place. I mean, it had a model of a French woman's room and a French man's room. So weird. It kind of reminded me of an old colonial town where they show you what a typical person's home would look like back in the old days, except this was supposed to be just some random French person's room with no real time frame. It was just so super weird. There's also a replica of the Eiffel Tower. This place feels kind of like a combination of Solvang in California, if you guys have ever been there, and Vegas, and a rundown amusement park. There were fairy tales mixed in with the Little Prince references. Everything was just kind of confusing. There was a nice nature walk though, which had a lot of fall foliage during the time we went. The cost is 8,000 won for adults and 5,000 won for kids, and you can probably spend less than an hour here and see everything. Garden of the Morning Calm. This botanical garden was conceptualized by Professor Han Sang-kyung while he was an exchange professor in America. He wanted to construct a world-famous garden that would spread the concept of Korean beauty throughout the world. The name Garden of the Morning Calm originated from an Indian poet who called Korea the land of the morning calm, and this is indeed true. Even in Seoul, you won't find a ton of people leaving their houses until afternoon, so the morning is very calm. There were a lot of people at this garden when we visited, but in my opinion, it's gorgeous and it's definitely worth a visit. We went in the fall and we got to enjoy the fall foliage, and my kids really enjoyed this little rock garden where you stack up rocks into little towers, and there's also this area with little houses that my kids really enjoyed. I would go back during the spring to see all the spring flowers and the winters to see the lights festival, and the cost is 9,500 won for adults and 6,000 won for kids. As far as getting to Gyeonggi province, you have a few options. If you know someone with a car or if you can drive, I think this is by far the most convenient and easiest option, and that's what we did. And it was great because we have kids. You can also take a tour bus from Myeongdong or Hongdae or Dongdaemun. There are a lot of different tour companies with different combination packages, and I think it'll run you about 50 to 100 bucks a person. But take note that they tend to leave around 8 a.m. so they'll arrive at Nami Island by 10 a.m. and at that point there's going to be a lot of people there. So if you want to take some really nice photos without a lot of people in the background, then I would recommend leaving as early as possible. And to do this, you would have to go on your own by either driving, or you can take the ITX from Yongsan Station to Gapyeong Station, and that will cost you about $5, or if you have a Korail pass, it's included in the pass. Once you get there, you can take the bus, and there's a regular intercity bus and also a Gapyeong City tour bus, which will take you between all the different sites. A day pass for the Gapyeong City bus will cost about 6,000 won. Overall, I really enjoyed visiting these places. I would definitely go back to Nami Island and Garden of the Morning Calm to see what it's like during summer and winter, and I do plan on going back. But for me, Petite France was a one and done thing. If you're a fan of The Little Prince, then I definitely recommend visiting, but other than that, it's a little bit of a tourist trap. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And let me know in the comments below if you have any other recommendations for day trips from Seoul. I'll talk to you next time. Bye!